How's it going, everybody? How the hell are you? Welcome back to the Nerdy Jock Talk. I'm the Nerdy Jock, Nick Angle. And thanks so much for stopping by, guys. We're going to talk some nerd stuff today. But before we do, remember, guys, please hit that like button. Smack that subscribe X. Throw it down there for the folks at home so they know what the hell they're doing. All right, guys. If you're ready, let's get into some Nerdville. Okay, guys, if you haven't seen it, Marvel's What If series has finally dropped on the Disney Plus. They are throwing out a new episode every week on Wednesday. So I just need to sort of talk about it. The first one was the Captain America What If. It was Peggy Carter. So Peggy Carter steps into the Captain America role. And it's I thought, a really well done series so far. I liked the first episode. The art is really cool. I love the fact that it's animated instead of live action. I also like the fact that they were able to kind of get a couple of things done with putting Peggy Carter into the role of Captain America, and yet still keeping it, in that what Captain America did. Like, there's blatant scenes that you saw from the Captain America movie, and then you see in this What If. Here's what I really am interested in knowing, though. So the Watcher is the narrator of this series, and he basically tells you that these are different realities in the timeline, which would then harken back to the Loki series. Now, if you guys haven't seen the Loki series, I certainly recommend watching it. I think because of the what ifs, I think the Loki series is actually now way more important than we even originally thought. I know a lot of people looked at the Loki series and were a little bit upset at the fact that it was like not Loki in the forefront. It was more of a side character, I guess the Loki was. But whatever. It does what it needs to do and really introduces the multiverse, which is now where we get the what ifs. I think the Watcher is going to play a much more pivotal role as well in the later MCUs. I think they're setting up the entire multiverse of madness, the Doctor Strange stuff, all of that. But I all think it's really coming from these series right now. So you have the WandaVision. At the end of WandaVision, there was a big event. You actually see that mirrored at the end of the Loki series. Again, I've just spoiled some things, but guys, if you haven't watched it, I don't know, figure it out. It's been on for a while. But the what ifs are actually really cool, and I think it is really starting off now this new timeline and new multiverse by doing what the MCU did in that. Obviously, you can't start it off with the Iron Man stuff. It's basically started off by the Captain America movie, which was 3 movies in, technically in the MCU, but they're doing it obviously in the right order this time. So they're going with Captain America at the very beginning, which obviously isn't Captain America. It's Captain Britain, but it's Peggy Carter, and then they're going to kind of get into the rest of it. Now they do show, Steve Rogers in obviously his not super soldier serum form, but in his kind of skinny form, in an Iron Man suit that is powered by the Tesseract, built by Howard Stark, Tony's dad. Really kind of a cool, I think, what do they call it? The Hydro Smasher, the Nazi Smasher, whatever it was. Really kind of a cool way to keep that character going. Obviously, having instead of Loki coming out of the Tesseract underground with Nick Fury and Hawkeye, they now have Peggy Carter coming out. So that's how she's now introduced into the world now. I think the whole thing is just really interesting. I think they're building to something, and I am really excited to kind of see where it goes and how they're going to meddle with it. But I think the big thing is this looks like it's going to be canon for the MCU, and yeah, I think that's cool. It brings up a lot of possibilities, so I'm excited for it. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, also in the wonderful world of cartoons, Netflix released the HeMan Masters of the Universe series done by Kevin Smith. It got released. If X, you probably don't even know who He-Man is, do you? It's okay. It was a cartoon back in like the 80s. I was a big fan of He-Man and Masters of the Universe. I didn't really get to see the whole show. I sort of came in at the tail end of it, but I did see the reruns. I'm not going to lie, as I watched the show, I wasn't a huge fan of it. There were parts of it that I did like, but I think I figured it out. And I figured out why I watched this show and I was like, oh, I need more. There's not a lot of He-Man in the show called He-Man. Like, he's there for like a second or two, but then he's gone. And the show is called He-Man. Where the hell is He-Man? It doesn't make any sense, guys. I don't know what to tell you. And what really bums me out the most is that people are getting introduced to He-Man without getting introduced to He-Man. You don't even know. I don't know what to tell you guys, man. You're getting introduced to an awesome, cool character that is beloved by a lot of people my age and older. And you're not introduced to him at all, actually. You're introduced to kind of every side character. You're introduced to all the, I don't know. Look, it's just the first series or first season. Maybe they're building to something. I really hope they're building to something. It just feels like a bit of a waste. You've got this awesome character introduced. If you want to do this storyline, by all means, do the storyline. But like, I don't know, give us like 15 episodes of it. And the first couple at least have He-Man in it. And then you can... It's just too bad. I don't know what to tell you. But I think I figured out at least that that's what's wrong with it. And why I was about it. Again, story-wise, I think it's cool. It just would have been better maybe stretched out over more episodes. Give us a little bit more He-Man at the beginning and then sort of do what you did. And then take it off to the end. Maybe that works out better. Yeah, that's all I got on that. All right, guys. I was hoping to have a news on the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer because I was thinking that it was supposed to be coming out, but I don't have anything at the time of filming this, so it's a little bit upsetting. But at least we know a little bit more that Doctor Strange is going to be in it. Apparently now Green Goblin is going to be involved. He's going to be the bad guy, and as far as we know, I believe it's William Dafoe that's been tapped for it to bring him back. So it's really cool news, I guess, on that front. But yeah, that's all I got for you right now. In other news, guys, if you are fans of Todd McFarlane and the Spawn series, really cool that they have now found their writer only 12 years after announcing that they were going to do another Spawn movie. They finally got a writer. Man, I'm actually really excited for it because I remember the first movie and I actually liked the first movie. Obviously, I didn't know too much about Spawn at the time and I probably shouldn't have watched it the first time, but I really liked it. And then I got into the cartoon of Spawn. I enjoyed that stuff too. It's a little bit like, because it's been 12 years and I've almost forgotten about it, but I got the update. Now, I didn't know this, but Todd McFarlane himself is apparently directing, which I think is really cool. At least we know that everything that's going to go into the movie is from the writer, and I think will be as authentic as you can really be with having somebody who wrote the entire series is going to direct it. So I guess if anything has changed, it's technically a rewrite. And in some sad news, Venom has been delayed for 3 weeks coming out, which I didn't even know it was going to be delayed before that. So it's delayed coming out. Again, the whole Venom series, while I think it's going to be an awesome movie in its own right, the fact that it's not involved in the MCU, the fact that it's not part of the Spider-Man story as well, I don't know, it just feels meh. I like Venom. Why they felt that they needed to go and do this movie, kind of silly to me. I think they do have a good actor to play Eddie Brock, but like Venom, it's Spider-Man, man. Like, get them together, figure it out. Make a deal, something. I love the fact that Carnage is going to be in it and all that, but the whole thing just seems like a bit of a waste, a big waste. No, it's a huge waste. Yeah. All right, and last but not least, probably the coolest thing ever is that Free Guy has now released in theaters, and it's got like YouTubers and stuff in it, and it feels so cool to see guys that you watch, or I watch, maybe you watch too, almost all the time, and they're now in this movie playing themselves, obviously, and doing what they normally do, so it can't be that much of a change. But I think it's really cool that a director took this idea of having this guy in a game come alive and then tap the people who play these games and the people who talk about these games on this particular platform come into the movie and wanted to be authentic as possible with the whole thing. Now, I think they did the right thing in not getting an actual game and kind of doing an adaptation, which can go awry so quickly because there are so many people who have an attachment to games, you know, like when they came out with the Street Fighter game, which was an absolutely horrendous thing, or Mario, pick a game title that they've made a movie of. It's just, it'll drive you nuts. But they obviously built their own game, and then it's got elements, it's got callbacks to other games, which I think is awesome. But then to have the YouTubers in it, I think is super cool. And also, it knocked off Suicide Squad out of the top spot. Suicide Squad, I think, had like an 82% drop in their second weekend. Woof. I didn't run out and watch Suicide Squad mostly because I hated the first one, and I'm not about to jump on board with anything DC does at this point now because I'm so jaded from everything they've done. There's not one thing that DC has done that I think is maybe the first Wonder Woman. That might be it. Like, I think the first Wonder Woman was well done. I even kind of liked Aquaman, but like after, everything else, it's like mildly better than I don't even think it cracks my top 10. But like, they come out with this Suicide Squad movie and I don't know. They haven't built a universe. Nothing makes sense. Everything is disjointed. I've said it before. It's all insanity. And we should all forget that it ever happened. But I hope the new Suicide Squad is good. I'll probably watch it at some point, but not in the theaters. I don't know. I just don't want to risk it to go out and see a bad movie with COVID still sort of rolling around. And I know I've gotten my shots, and I've gotten both of them. But I just, if I'm going to risk it, at least I want to go for a good movie. So take that for what you will. All right, guys, keeping it short and sweet today. Thank you so much for dropping by. That's it for me. Remember, guys, hit that like button, smack that subscribe. I'm going to just keep saying it until everybody does. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, guys. Like, tell your friends, tell your family, show it to everybody. Let's just get this going, and let's see what we can do, guys. But again, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, X, thank you again. But remember, guys, it's always game time, baby. Let's go!